And at 5:31 in the morning, the sounds of America and a horse with no name, and it seems as though nothing has changed. But in fact, of course, it has. Good morning, 5:31 in the morning on 98.7 KLUV. Ron Chapman here. Yes, thank you very much, Bob Gomez, for setting me up and making sure everyone knew that it was I who would be taking over at this hour of the morning. It's very comfortable for me to be doing this because I got friends with me. You got to have friends, as Bette Midler once said, and we got them this morning. We have Peggy Sears, we have Mitch Carr, we have Mark Oristano. Hi, guys, in your brand new KLUV newsroom.
I mean, it's awesome.
Isn't it fun?
It is indeed.
I mean, it hasn't been junked up yet. Well, it has.
Well, actually, it has. We were early on that. We got
but it's mostly construction stuff that's still there.
Boy, this is nice.
And we got a KLUV shirt to wear.
Got a KLUV shirt, and I don't even have one of them yet.
Hey.
We're ready.
So that's coming up time. So anyway, we're here to try to get this thing together, and let's see if we can build a new legendary radio station. And we'll start out this morning by asking how much longer is the heat going to last?
I mean, I'm telling you, this is September 5th. Welcome to Tuesday morning. Ron, the answer to your question may be this coming weekend. We look to be having a cooling trend in the works. But let's talk about yesterday for a minute. 111 degrees. It was the sixth hottest day ever recorded at DFW International Airport. And today, well, we have a heat advisory in effect. And we also have an air pollution watch at level red today. Our high today should be anywhere from 105 to 107. Then tomorrow, not quite as hot. And then by the time we get towards the weekend, we're looking for temperatures of 97 to 102.
97 to 102 sounds
range.
like a cold wave.
Yeah, it does. Then it sounds like we have an Arctic cold front coming through.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's extremely warm already, right now at 88 degrees.
And the good news, it was so hot yesterday, 111 degrees.
How hot was it?
But there was a brand new swimming pool in downtown Dallas. It was
that one.
It was unplanned, but there was knee-deep water in some sections, and there were cars floating in underground parking garages. This is because a crew broke a water main, variously described by media in the area as a 30-inch water main and a 48-inch water main. But it was a big water main, and it has been now capped off. They're still doing the actual repair work, but it was an underground parking garage near the Earl Cabell Federal Building.
What a mess that turned out
Interesting
to be.
Photos on the front page of the Morning News, for example.
Yeah. Oh, and Ron, we have this little interesting tidbit. You know, after the Survivor mania, well, Big Brother hasn't ever been able to catch on, it seems.
And rightfully so, I might add.
So today, this episode this week, they are going to try to bring some new level of excitement by offering...
So they're going to get some interesting people?
Well, by offering one of the contestants $10,000 to leave the Big Brother house and immediately be replaced by some, this is my description, va-va-voom, young lady is going to be moving into the house, but they just haven't been able to get much interest in Big Brother.
Eye candy there. No. You know, Survivor at least had the ocean and the beaches and the palm trees and so forth.
The guy with the green hair, I'm sorry.
Get Susan Hawk in there. She'll straighten them all out in no time at all.
There you go.
You're absolutely right.
And we'll check on some other news as we continue this morning on KLUV.
X marks the savings at Texas Motors Ford.
It's simple to buy at Texas Motors Ford. Great selection, low prices, friendly, knowledgeable sales personnel, and one of the largest parts and service departments in the Metroplex. Texas Motors Ford, Fort Worth's hometown, family-owned and operated dealer for over 57 years. And this week, mention Ron Chapman and KLUV and get $5,400 off MSRP on your choice of any in-stock 2000 Eddie Bauer Expedition, including a $1,000 rebate. And take advantage of 3 or 36,000-mile red carpet lease on all 2000 Explorer XLs with automatic. Right now, pay just $299 a month. That's 35 payments of $299 a month and one final payment of $23,278. Pay or walk away. 5.75% APR with approved credit. Price includes $1,500 rebate with TT&L due at signing.
X marks the savings at Texas Motors Ford.
Texas Motors Ford, making it simple to buy at I-30 in Cherry Lane, West Fort Worth.
Tuesday morning, September 5th, 98.7 KLUV and Ron Chapman with the group, Peggy Sears, Mitch Carr, and we continue with whatever is on the minds of the people in the KVIL, I said it, there it is, KLUV newsroom, and to do that, we go back to Mitch and Peggy.
All right, and the first rule to learn in politics is if there's a microphone within 700 miles of you, don't call reporters bad names.
Oh, yeah. Oh, have we learned that today?
Oh, boy.
You'd think there had been enough politicians in the past that it would have been a good example, but it happened yesterday. George W. Bush in a Chicago suburb, a comment made to Dick Cheney. Cheney was also heard agreeing with the comment. We'll let your We'll let the print media take care of
The
what
point
it was.
is that if the boss says it,
Yeah.
the second guy is going to say, yeah, I agree, you're
yeah,
right
I think
anyway,
you're
isn't
right.
he?
Yeah. So anyway, it was about
Anytime there's an open microphone
Or-
or a microphone, just assume that the sound is turned
exactly
on.
right. That's what we do in this news.
Today's Star Telegram has an interesting story. Headline, A Burden to Bear. And Diana Smith and Jennifer Radcliffe go on to write about the heavy books that the kids are carrying in their backpacks. In fact, there is a big concern being raised in this article about the later in life implications that walking around with a 30-pound backpack can have on you by the time you get to be 40. But anyway, there are a lot of parents who are saying that those new rollable backpacks are the way to go.
Oh, and the funniest thing is hearing all of the commercials and seeing all of the stories on the national media about school starting today. And I'm thinking to myself, most kids in Texas are getting their mid 6-week progress report.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Exactly.
finishing up their third or fourth week, depending on what school district they're in, and the rest of the national media is going, school starts today. Backpacks are heavy. Be careful.
How interesting. In Braintree, Massachusetts, they're concerned about school bus crossings for the first time. Well, Mark Oristano is with us early on this morning, too, and let's check in with him. We're looking at a sports scene in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's pretty grim, isn't
Well,
it?
I figured, though, to celebrate our new home, I should begin in proper style. So I thought I'd say, ooh, wah, the Rangers finally won a game.
Oh, all right.
5-4 against the White Sox. Why do fools watch the Rangers? And
That's very good. That's in keeping.
that's the positive news. Did you watch the Monday night game last night? Rams 41-36 over the Broncos. Remember when the Cowboys used to play that way?
That's right. Used to
And
run up those
used
scores.
to run down the field and get in the end zone. Sunday is going to be brutal because Joey Galloway's out for the season with a torn up knee. We don't know if Troy's going to play, and there's absolutely nothing good out of that Philadelphia game except that it's over.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
I mean, even Dave Campo's glasses got bent.
That's right. That was an omen at the beginning of the game.
And where is Jason Garrett when we really
Unfortunately,
need
he's
him?
in New
That's
York.
the truth.
Yes.
So,
well.
well, all right. That's the view of that. And let's do this. We'll come back and do the weather and wrap this up right after this.
If you care about your car, you really ought to do all you can for it.
Never thought I'd feel this good about driving.
Try 5 tanks of Texaco Clean System 3 gasoline for a cleaner engine for better performance.
Ah, that fifth tank feeling. Texaco. I'm high on believing. Texaco. In that Clean System 3.
Because if you're not using high-performing gasoline consistently, your car's probably not performing as well as it could. And that's a shame, when you could get that fifth tank feeling from Texaco Clean System 3.
Ah, that fifth tank feeling. Texaco. Get high on believing. Texaco. Star of the American road. Star of the American road.
And good morning on 98.7 KLUV. Ron Chapman here with Mitch Carr and Peggy Sears, wrapping up our first check of what's going on in the world out there. And let's do it with what's going on in the weather again, whether we want to or not.
And the weather is going to be hot and hotter, but there's a chance that we might actually have a high temperature below 100 sometime later this week, but I emphasize it's only a chance.
Yeah.
Today, a heat advisory and air pollution watch level red, partly cloudy skies, and a high of 107 expected. And right now at KLUV, 98.7 Oldies Radio.
Very
KLUV,
kindly.
88 degrees.
All right. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Mark. On this day in history, as I tend to do, September 5th in years past, various things that have happened that might be worth mentioning. 1914, Babe Ruth hit his first home run as a professional player. It was in the International League. 1957, the book On the Road by Jack Kerouac was first published. 1960, on this September 5th, Cassius Clay, Louisville, Kentucky's Cassius Clay, won the gold medal in the light heavyweight boxing competition at the Olympic Games in Rome. In 1972, on this date, speaking of Olympic Games, this was the day the Arab guerrillas attacked the Israeli delegation at the Munich Olympic Games. 1983, McNeil Lehrer NewsHour became the first hour-long network news show on this date in 1983. And also in 83, Sports Illustrated became the first national weekly magazine to use 4 color process illustrations on every page, and we're very grateful to them once a year, if nothing more. In 1980, 1986, on September 5th, The Love Boat aired for the last time. The Love Boat. American Bandstand, hosted by Dick Clark, was canceled after 30 years on television on this date in 1987. In 89, Deborah Norville became the news anchor of the Today Show for about 21 minutes. And speaking of anchors, in 1997, Joan London said goodbye to Good Morning America on ABC. And 2 deaths on this date. 1997, Mother Teresa. 1999, Candid Camera creator Alan Funt died on this day. But it was on this day in 1964 that the song that became #1 in the USA is one you hear today on KLUV.
There is a house in New Orleans.
Eric Burden and the Animals, of course, and that song from 1964, the #1 hit on this date, September 5th, on 1964, and we hear it again today on Oldies 98.7 KLUV. Good morning, Ron Chapman here with the group, and we're just beginning to get our sea legs. Good morning.
So we'll go again.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling.
103.7, and the most wonderful frequency in the world that I just called on the way down Central Expressway this morning. I called Ken Barnett on the way down Central, and I said, I'm taking the wrong exit, Ken. I'm taking the wrong exit. I'm going past this one, but in that you took that one, I'll give you a great morning. And we said break a leg to each other, and so we are this morning. Good morning. Ron Chapman on 98.7 KLUV. It is Tuesday, September 5th, and we got a lot of ground to cover this morning. We got a whole brand new surrounding here. We got a different control room. We have especially a new newsroom from which Mitch and Peggy will operate, and we're going to be investigating that as the morning goes on. We're also going to be investigating the rest of the KLUV environs, and they're pretty good because they've always been very good, but now they're especially good because we've spruced them up a little bit. We've made them a little bit different in anticipation of this because the needs are going to be different. And one of the things that we're going to do this morning, you may want to roll tape on this. This could be interesting because in our coffee bar, in the place where we keep the coffee cups and the coffee and so forth, there is, as there is in every company in America, a wonderful icon of the Americanism, and that is the company refrigerator. And so this morning on this program, we're going to be playing What's in the KLUV refrigerator. So...
Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry.
Oh, in the same key. Do you love it or do you love it? Come on. Let's hear it for the maestro. Good morning on 98.7 KLUV. Playing the oldies with Ron Chapman. I just talked with an oldie only seconds ago.
Through the mirror of my mind, time after time. All my faith and trust right before my
Yes, whole new opportunities for segue with the oldies of KLUV. Good morning, 98.7, Ron Chapman here. And I said I just talked with an oldie, and I did. I just talked with an oldie friend of mine who is back in the saddle with me in the morning. He's in the studio, soon to be in the chopper. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ben Laurie, and good morning to you this morning.
Hey, good morning, Ron. You know, this is a bit of deja vu in another way.
Well, how's that?
I was with you on day one at the other place.
You mean...
31 years ago.
Are you talking, you were here at day one when we started on KVIL?
Yes, sir.
You know, you may have been, and I'm not sure of this to be absolutely true, but you may have been with me on the first day on the morning show on KLIF. Were you there? Did you precede me at that time?
No, I came in after. I think you got here in 59. I was in 61.
Boy, you talk about oldies. You talk about oldies. But the last song I played on the other station is I'm Still Standing, better than I ever did, and so are you. So good morning. Tell me what's going on in traffic so far.
Traffic is looking good so far. Of course, building as you make your way into the downtown Dallas area, but on the west end of downtown, because of the water main break that Mitch mentioned a while ago, you've got a couple of intersections that are not passable. That's Griffin and Main and at Young and Lamar. And this report is brought to you by the Texas Lotto. Okay, so what does it take to win millions? Sometimes just a few minutes. That's all you need to buy a lotto ticket, or maybe two. So don't forget to play Texas Lotto Wednesdays and Saturdays. And that's KLUV Traffic to the Minute. I'm Ben Laurie on Oldies Radio.
Hi, folks. Pat Summerall here for Atlas Cable Lock Foundation Repair.
Southwestern Bell, a member of the SBC Global Network. Service provided by Southwestern Bell Long Distance. Available only in Southwestern Bell telephone service areas.
2 minutes until 6 o'clock in the morning on 98.7 KLUV, Dallas-Fort Worth, KLUV FM, Dallas-Fort Worth, as a matter of fact, and everything seems to be falling into place. Everything seems to be falling into place. I picked up the phone and found Ted Whitliff there this morning, and it does look as though things are...
works.
Yeah, it
Had
works.
some trouble getting through.
Yeah.
I thought I had the dialer all set up, but I kept getting some guy who wanted me to donate money to Jerry's kids.
Yeah, apparently he was getting Scott Murray in there.
Right.
And so it looks as
And
though...
now let me get this down now.
All right.
I'm Ted Whitliff, and I KLUV my oldies.
Yes! We've got it.
Give me a ticket for an aeroplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm a-going home. My baby just wrote me a letter.
It's now 6 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Mitch Carr.
I'm Peggy Sears.
Here, let's check KLUV traffic.
Holding pace right now, but downtown Dallas has some intersections blocked from a weekend water main break. Griffin and Maine, Young and Lamar. This report brought to you by Texas Lottery Scratch Off. Hey, Texas, get out of the traffic and into some scratch game fun and play in the chips from the new Texas Lottery. You could win up to $20,000. That's KLUV Traffic to the Minute. I'm Ben Laurie on Oldies Radio.
111 yesterday, the 6th hottest day ever since they started keeping records. But when will it come to an end? That's the question everybody would like answered. And if we're lucky, a much-needed break could come towards the end of this week. Oh, speaking of breaks, there's that one Ben's been telling you about of the water main variety in downtown Dallas. Ooh, it was a real mess yesterday. Thousands of gallons in the area of Young Street between Field and Griffin. And seeing all that water roll over the concrete, didn't you feel sorry for the plants and yards who could have really used it?
Dallas County has been added to the state quarantine involving Africanized bees. A colony of them has been confirmed in University Park. All the quarantine does, really, is notify people, but it also alerts commercial beekeepers.
No doubt one of the top stories on the national scene this morning will be an off-color comment made by Governor Bush yesterday. It was during a rally in Nappersville, Illinois, when Bush said something about a New York Times reporter he spotted in the crowd. Now, the people out there couldn't hear it, but reporters' mics did pick it up.
A child welfare case in New Mexico has become a national item, and today a judge is expected to decide if a 3-year-old girl can go home to her parents. This little girl weighs 120 pounds. The state says her mom and dad have endangered her life. They say it's a medical problem they've been working on for years.
At the box office over the weekend, the teen cheer flick Bring It On was #1, followed by The Cell and Space Cowboys.
And here's Mark Oristano with KLUV Sports.
One headline you don't want to see after week 1 of the regular season is Cowboys focus on recovery. But that's the headline in the morning news. After a whipping from the Eagles, Joey Galloway is out for the season with a torn-up knee. Troy has another concussion. His backup, Randall Cunningham, has an injured thumb. It's bleak, and it's still early September. Better days are ahead. They have to be.
The funny thing about success is that when you finally reach it, suddenly there are so many ways to make sure you stay up there at the top.
And KLUV weather at 6:04, a heat advisory and an air pollution watch again today with a high near 107.
Right now we have 88 degrees already here at 98.7 KLUV. For Mitch Carr, I'm Peggy Sears.
Where the weather fits my clothes and the music fits my clothes on 98.7 KLUV. Where it is currently 8 minutes after 6.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love comes tumbling down. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Wilson Pickett. If I'm going where the weather fits my clothes, I get one of those things that the astronauts wear with the water cooling system that's through there. That could be convenient at this time. In the meantime, if you want to stop sweating, you got to wait till the midnight hour, and that still doesn't even work because the temperatures are really high even at that hour of the night these days. Well, good morning. We're beginning to get our sea legs this morning here in a brand new studio and a good one, I might add. It's always been good. It's even better now. And the newsroom where Mitch and Peggy and sometimes Mark work from is all brand new. Oh, got to thank the people. I got to thank Jim St. John, also Pamela, of course, and by the way, good morning. She's the best part of that act, at FWD Builders, because they did screw their courage to the sticking point and come up with a last-minute construction idea, and it worked, and it's done, and it's in there, and it is already working, along with the guys, of course, here in the engineering department at KLUV that pulled this thing off. So all of that has put it together. All the King's horses and all the King's men have come together, and so here we are on a Tuesday after Labor Day, and it works.
Awesome.